Hello everyone, it's Claire. I do hope you're well. Today I've got a tutorial and it's a right angle weave bracelet, but I'm making it with 6mm pearl beads. Now this is ideal for the beginner. I know it might look complicated to begin with. All you need to know is how to open and close jump rings. If you're unsure, I will link the video above for you, so have a quick look at that one first. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I have lots of tutorials available. I am using 6mm ivory and turquoise pearl beads. I've got two sizes of Lobster Clasp. I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to use, and two 9mm silver plated jump rings. We have some 0.6mm elastic, which is clear, two pairs of pliers and some cutters, but the pliers are for the jump rings and obviously the cutters are for the elastic. So we need to cut ourselves, I'm going to say 110 centimeters of elastic. Now I know that seems like a very long piece of elastic, but all will become clear. I'm going to use two beaded needles and I'm going to thread each end onto a beaded needle. These actually open in the middle and they're about 50mm. So we'll just thread both ends. So here we have folded in half and we have two ends threaded with a needle on each end. So we have a left and a right needle, and we're going to take the left needle and we're going to thread two ivory beads onto the needle and then two turquoise beads onto the left needle, and then we're going to push them down into the center. So take your two needles in your hand, so they'll look like this. So taking our right needle, we take the very first cream pearl bead and we're going to go back through that bead and then pull both ends apart to join the beads together. So that's what you're left with. Now I'm going to take a piece of sellotape and I'm going to sellotape those beads down to stop them moving. Taking the right hand needle, I'm then going to thread on an ivory pearl bead, just the one. Then we take the right hand side needle and we thread two turquoise beads. Then we take the left hand side needle and we go back through the turquoise pearl bead and then pull both ends together. Then we take the left hand needle and we thread on one turquoise bead. Then we take the right hand needle and thread on two ivory beads. And then we take the left hand needle and go back through the very last ivory bead that we put on, and then pull the two ends together to join. And that's what it should look like. Then we thread one ivory pearl onto the left hand side, and then we take the right hand side and thread on two turquoise pearls. Then we take the left hand needle and we go back through the very last turquoise bead, and then pull. I'm actually removing the beading needles. I prefer to just, because if you're using very thin elastic or thread, then you would need ideally the needles, but I can just work better without, and obviously I'll put the needle on at the end to join. So then we take a turquoise bead on the left hand elastic, and then we thread two ivory beads on the right hand elastic. Take the left hand elastic and go back through the very last ivory bead, pull it through, and then pull the ends together. Take an ivory bead on the left hand elastic, then two turquoise beads on the right hand elastic. So you can see how we're getting that pattern now. So again, we take the right hand elastic and thread it through the very last turquoise bead, pull through, and then pull both ends together. Right hand side elastic with one turquoise bead, right hand side elastic with two ivory pearl beads. Take the right hand side and thread through the very last ivory bead. Pull through, whoops, put it back in, pull through, and then pull both ends together to join. Now when I was first learning to make this bracelet, the lady doing the tutorial actually stopped and said, "I'll meet you at the end," and I was like, no, I need to follow, I need to see what you're doing, so I'm just going to carry on and show you. But obviously you can skip this bit if you want to just go to the end before I start adding the findings. So we take the left hand side elastic and thread an ivory pearl, and then take the right hand side and thread two turquoise pearls. Then take the left hand side elastic and go back through the very last turquoise bead. Pull through and then pull both ends together to join. Then take a turquoise bead with the right side elastic and the left side 2 ivory pearls. Take the right hand elastic and thread through the last ivory pearl bead. Pull it through and then pull both strands together. Take an ivory bead on the left, two turquoise pearl beads on the right, and thread the left side elastic through the turquoise bead. Pull it through and then pull both sides together. Another turquoise bead on the left, two ivory beads on the right, take the left hand side elastic and thread through the last ivory bead. Pull through and then pull both ends to join together. Another ivory bead on the left hand side, two turquoise beads on the right hand side, take the left hand elastic and thread through the last turquoise bead, pull through and then pull both ends together to join. Turquoise bead to the left, two ivory beads to the right, and then use the left elastic to thread through the last ivory bead. Pull through and then pull both ends together to join. One ivory pearl to the left hand side, two turquoise beads to the right hand side, take the left hand side and thread through the very last turquoise bead, pull through and then join together. One turquoise bead to the left, two ivory beads to the right, take the left hand side and thread through the last ivory bead. Pull through and then pull both ends to join together. Oops, one ivory bead to the right, two turquoise beads to the left, take the left hand elastic, thread through the last turquoise bead, pull together and pull both ends to join. Turquoise bead to the left hand side, two ivory beads to the right hand side. Whoops, nearly lost that one. Take the left hand side elastic and go through the very last pearl bead, pull through and then pull both ends together to join. I've just measured and it's 7 inches, so we've actually come to the end of the actual beading part of the bracelet. When measuring, you need to allow for the lobster clasp and the loop to join, so you may have to alter or add some more beads. I have now threaded a needle with just one strand. I've taken the right hand side strand and I'm going to thread back through 4 pearl beads. And I've taken 1 ivory and 1 turquoise bead. So those are the 2 beads I've just said, the ivory and the turquoise, and I'm now going to go through the turquoise and the ivory on the bottom. So put the needle through those. Just slightly pulling the 2 ends together. And then remove the needle. We are then going to tie, just like you do in a shoelace. We're going to do a surgeon's knot. Then we're going to go do the same again, but we're going to go through twice. And lastly, we're going to tie the opposite way to how we first started. So just like doing a shoelace, but in reverse order. We are then going to thread both strands back onto the needle. Previously it was just 1 strand, but now it's 2. And we're just going to go back through 2 beads. Just to hide the tail. Any 2 beads on the end. And then snip right at the bottom. And then remove the sellotape, ready to add the findings. I'm now going to attach the jump ring to the very last bead. So we take 2 pliers, open our jump ring, these are 10mm, and then thread it through the bead. You might have to open it a bit wider, it can be quite fiddly. We've got several strands of elastic through the end bead. That's that one, and then we're going to add one to the other end and then also add the lobster clasp. So we open the jump ring, thread it through I've chosen the larger Lobster Clasp, put that on the jump ring and then close. And that's a right angle weave bracelet made using pearl beads. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, take care and happy crafting.